Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, thanks
And welcome into the Shepherd's Podcast. We're glad that you're with us, however you're with us, whether it's on Facebook or whatever your podcast.
I'm glad you said that.
Okay.
We're on YouTube now.
Oh.
It's officially on YouTube.
It is officially on YouTube now.
Okay.
YouTube is very different now. They're very different.
Now that we're on there, it's very different.
No, well, that's
Is that what you're saying?
understatement.
Is that what you're saying?
No, just the way that they want your account to be verified and all this kind of information.
Oh,
So
okay.
every time I would submit it, they would reject it.
Well, that's why we pay you the big bucks.
I just think about Michael Scott. We got to get somebody from YouTube out here to film this.
We should.
Oh, gee.
It would up the production value. I promise you that.
Well, however you're watching,
Yes.
thanks for watching.
Glad you're here.
Glad you're watching.
Well,
What do you got over there? You got those?
I'm sending your daughter
Oh yeah.
a video of you playing with your niece because your daughter is going to be so upset that she wasn't allowed to be there.
Yep.
You and Jen kept Addison this morning a few minutes while I had a Zoom call, and Julia was at school, and Julia is Addison's person.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to be upset. So I'm sending her that so she'll be mad at you when she gets out of school. You're welcome.
Doesn't take much.
You're welcome. What do I have here? I have
Those muscadines.
muscadines.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Did you pick them yourself?
I did. I went to the store and I said, those look good.
You used to have people that would bring you a whole, I guess, what are muscadines?
They used to love me. I've worn off on them.
You started the podcast and people don't like
Yeah.
it anymore.
What do you do? Just like you throw it out there that you love muscadines, and people go, "I'm going to get him some." Is that what like?
Actually, I love $100 bills.
I was going to say because I love cash.
No, when I was when my dad pastored Gap Hill, and the parsonage was right by the church, there was this. Y'all have heard this story. There was a huge muscadine vine that ran up a big tree in the backyard. So my brother and I would get on opposite sides of the tree and throw a football back and forth, knocking the muscadines down, take them in. And I just fell in love with muscadines. This will be served in heaven. This will be at the marriage supper of the Lamb.
It's like a big old grape.
And I used to sit and eat these with Randy Anderson. He and I used to eat muscadines and chicken gizzards.
Gizzards.
That'll be served in heaven too.
I went by Spinks one day with Randy and he got two of them.
That's right.
He said, I'm going to eat one on the way home and one when I get home.
And everybody makes fun of gas station food. That's good chicken.
Spinks got it going on. Good stuff.
All right, special day, sort of a different day, just kind of, and we're off schedule, but just kind of want to jump in and talk about events of last week.
It was a very heavy week.
Yeah, it was.
It was a very heavy week. You had, and forgive me if I missed something.
Yeah, because there was a lot.
You had the murder of the young lady on the train in Charlotte.
In Charlotte, North Carolina.
About an hour and 15 minutes from us.
Yeah.
Obviously, you had the assassination of Charlie Kirk. You had the school shooting in Colorado. You had the 24th anniversary of 9/11.
That almost just kind of got dwarfed into nobody paid attention to it because everything else that was going on.
All of it within like 72 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
There was a shooting in Spartanburg at Walmart at Dorman Center.
Well, that's about every day, isn't it?
It's pretty rough.
And that's sad to say that.
Yeah.
Let's just, and I want to, you guys are a younger generation. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts as I kind of process this aloud. I said yesterday, I didn't really offer a statement yesterday. I really just had prayer. And I didn't trust myself with a statement. I was really concerned that once I started, I didn't know where it would go.
Sure.
So let's talk about the refugee. For me, the most disturbing part, here's this innocent young lady who's a refugee from Ukraine going to work or coming back from work.
Didn't have a driver's license, so she relied on public transportation.
Public transportation. And she's massacred. She's butchered. And there are people standing. The disturbing part is there are people standing there watching.
That's I can't wrap my head around it.
That's. I mean, I realize it would have been traumatizing, and you might fear for your own life. But this girl's getting slaughtered in front of you. Mm-hmm. Do you not? A couple of you try.
Right.
I watched the video a few times, and I couldn't place it if they just didn't comprehend the situation. If they just didn't understand what was going on.
I don't know how you couldn't. I mean, I think it's just fear.
Yeah.
Is the only thing I can. And I don't know. I don't know how you don't do that. Isn't there a law? You have
Samaritan law.
Well, that if you see it and don't act.
I don't know. I think it was last year that there was a video on the subway in New York where a person had fallen asleep and someone had lit them on fire.
Yeah.
And then was fanning the flames.
Yeah, the homeless person set that lady on fire.
And I'm watching it going, why isn't anybody doing anything?
They're filming it.
They're filming this. Why? Yeah.
What does that say? What does that say? We're more interested in filming it than we are helping the individual.
But then you have to, I sat back and I remember the first time I watched it, I was going, this has got to be AI. This can't be real life. Like is this real?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Is it the effect of, by the time a kid gets to high school,
the desensitization.
How many murders have they seen on video games, on movies, on TV shows?
I've heard the argument, how many have they committed on video games? And
good point.
The girls and I were discussing some of their favorite wrestlers are starring in they're remaking a Street Fighter movie from the 90s.
All right.
And I was telling them, man, I played Street Fighter on Sega Genesis all the time because I wasn't allowed to play Mortal Kombat. And they're like, what? That's Mortal Kombat? Why not? Well, Mortal Kombat was the first video game that had blood. And, I mean, it was very violent. Yeah. And it was just – and I thought about it, and I thought, man, that was kind of like the doorway into this. Some of those shooting for first-person shooter games, they're very realistic. That was kind of like the doorway into this or whatever.
And it has to desensitize you some. So,
yeah.
So Mom and I were right.
Yeah.
You said Mortal Kombat, and that just triggered your brother was just angry that we would not let him see the movie. There was a movie that came out.
Okay.
He used to call it Murder Kombat.
Yeah, I remember.
And, I mean, he was just so angry we wouldn't let him play the game or see the movie. And he made some comment, one day I'm going to move out and I'm going to get an earring
I'm going
to watch Murder Kombat.
Yeah.
I looked up the Good Samaritan law. It's actually, the way the law reads, it's not for not doing something. It's more intended so that
to protect those who do act.
People that do act, I don't have to worry about getting sued because I was trying to help somebody and I offered further injury or something like that. So,
I would think this would be some kind of law like complacency or something to that effect. But, yeah, I mean, it's disturbing that a man stabs a girl on public transportation. Going back to the shooting at Walmart, there is a desensitization for all of us because we hear this every day. Mm-hmm. But we're not on the bus or the train when it happens every day.
Right.
And to realize that there are just people standing there taking no action whatsoever, that's disturbing. Mm-hmm. And sadly, high school shooting in Colorado, nobody paid much attention to it.
And then I think it was Friday night. There was I don't remember where it was. There was a shooting at a high school football game.
That's become every week.
Right.
That's become every week. But obviously the news that took the day was the assassination of Charlie Kirk, who was just standing and talking.
We were at home. It was just me and the girls. I think Jen was setting up for Girls' Day before church on a Wednesday night, and Natalie hollered out from the living room, "Who's Charlie Kirk?" I was like, oh, he's on social media. He's a political commentator guy. I was like, why?
Yeah.
Somebody just shot him. And I was like, what? And if I would have known then what I know now, my next question to her would be, you didn't see the video, did it? And she was just scrolling, and she did not. She just saw the headline.
Okay.
Charlie Kirk shot, whatever.
Video's gruesome.
So I immediately start looking stuff up, and I saw the video.
And you wish you hadn't.
I told Justin, I told my brother later, I regret seeing that video. I mean, it made me nauseous. Made the, like that funny taste in you, like you taste pennies or whatever. Like I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was the most gruesome thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
And for Justin, who is a police officer and on the SWAT team and has seen the worst of the worst, for his response to be, I wish I hadn't seen it either, I thought, okay, this is really bad. Yeah. This is really bad.
You got a guy who is just going to college campuses saying, let's talk. I mean, that's the essence of let's talk. And you can be combative with me in conversation. That's fine. But let's have this conversation. And there's two great problems that somebody is so twisted that they just want to kill him. And then the follow-up is there's a segment of society that celebrates him being killed.
Yeah.
For a conversation.
Yeah.
You sadly almost expect it of elected officials to have assassination attempts. Going back to in my lifetime, Kennedy and
Reagan's
somebody shot Reagan and
Trump's attempt.
I remember when George Wallace was shot, and so you have people who are vying for or in political office,
and then you can go to Steve Scalise and then
the guys at the baseball field, that was Scalise, and I don't want to say that comes with the territory and appear to be endorsing it, but that does come.
Safety is a assumed risk. Like, by running for public office, there is a safety aspect I have to take into consideration.
But I heard one commentator talking about this, and they used the word, he's a soft target, meaning he's not going to have the security an elected politician is going to have. Any
security that he has is privately hired.
Yeah.
And they're not going to come in. If when you used to work, when you used to work at the hospital,
right?
Anytime the president of the United States or the vice president or anybody, you've told me this story before, would come into town.
Yeah.
Secret Service would come in. How soon? I mean,
it would depend, because a lot of times they don't know exactly 2 or 3 days out before they're officially coming, but. There were operating rooms on standby. Yep. We had to have dedicated phone lines available if needed. There's this whole, they have a whole team that comes in, and that's all they do. They prepare a city for a visit, and now, of course, because of our relationship, Sheriff's Department and Justin, we know that they have law enforcement involved, and again,
that's not private security.
No.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Secret Service on top of that.
Right.
But to hear, okay, this guy's a soft target. Well, so is the preacher on Sunday morning.
Sure.
Who may not be preaching, who may be preaching very much the same views Charlie Kirk preached, because he was, or proclaimed, he was an avid believer in the gospel of Jesus Christ. He believed everybody could be saved. He was opposed to any lifestyle that was not according to Scripture, which is a fair way of just kind of a broad stroke there without trying to get into specifics.
Yeah.
And would openly say that, but it was never antagonistic toward the person. It would be toward the gospel and et cetera. And to see such a response, such a vile response from an individual, apparently grew up in a normal home by all indications, but somewhere went off the rails.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't, and I've lived longer than you guys, you know, what I remember about 9/11 was we thought things will never be the same again.
Right.
You know, everybody made the pledges and everybody made the vows. And I remember when 9/11 happened, we were in Heaven's Gate, Hell's Flame revival, and all of the airports was shut down. I remember walking outside at church, looking up, no planes, which is really weird here because we're
airports
2 miles from the airport. And people were nice to each other at the store, and people were kind at the red light. No, you go. No, you go.
We were all Americans.
We were all Americans, and the nation was going to be unified. And you have this thought, well, maybe. Nah, that didn't last long.
I was struck by two things. I was struck by the governor of Utah, who I'd never heard of before. But in his press conference, when they announced that they had caught the kid, when everybody talked, he talked, Blandino, Cash Patel, whatever his name is,
right.
they all talked, and then he kind of got up at the end and just spitballed a little bit.
Yeah.
And I remember him talking about, my prayer through this whole 36 hours has been, please don't let it be one of us. And he talked about, this would be so much easier to accept and to unify. And I mean, I'm paraphrasing.
If it was a foreign entity, if it was a foreign government agency, if it was, some refugee, whatever, but please don't let it be one of us. And he's like, and that prayer wasn't answered because not only was it an American, but it was a citizen of Utah. And that sits heavy on me because this doesn't happen here. Yeah.
And he just pleaded, and I believe he's a Democrat Mormon governor.
Okay.
And he was pleading, please put aside our differences.
Yeah.
Please have civil conversation.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, that, I don't know. Sometimes you can tell when a politician's talking and you're like, I see, you can see through this. That was genuine.
Yeah.
Genuine. Like you could feel his hurt when he said, please don't let this be one of us.
I saw a blurb where he said, cancer is too good a word to describe what has happened to Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
That this is like a cancer. No,
Yeah.
Cancer is too good a word.
Yeah.
I've said on here, we've said on here, we're at a point now you can't have a conversation.
No.
And people don't want to have a conversation. I saw a survey this weekend that and I lose track of the generations, but whatever the generation behind you is, apparently violence toward people who hold a different opinion than you is accepted.
It's common. Yeah.
It's not, let's sit and talk and I'll hear you, you hear me. It's, I want what I want. And if you don't want it, then
Get out of my way.
Get out of my way.
Yeah.
Or, and that's disturbing.
Yeah. And what's funny is I was very cautious and I didn't, address just the specifics of the Kirk incidents, but just, you can address the heaviness of the week and whatever. And I have to be careful because obviously you have middle schoolers and high schoolers together, but for us, it's a very unique dynamic because according to the surveys we've collected, 60% of our kids are not on social media at all. And a lot of them in high school, that's a choice by the parents to shield and protect them from things. So it's like, okay, how am I going to go about this? I haven't had many students talk to me about it, but I've had at least 4 college students reach out.
Yeah.
All of them with the same thing. I had one last night, had a couple the day of. Jen had one, her phone starts ringing at 2:30 in the morning, and it's one of our freshmen. All of these in South Carolina, some of them at private schools.
Right.
I'm very afraid that I will not be able to defend my faith. I'm very afraid that this has started conversations. I had one student said to me, I'm starting to realize how much I did not pay attention and how much I really don't know about the world. So that has started some conversations with them. So it almost feels like that generation sees it more because maybe they are conflicted with it more. And the one that called Jen at 2:30 in the morning, the young lady's talking about, we're here in the room, and my friend Sweet Mate is coming at us about, tell me why you believe this and why that, and things that used to just be unheard of.
Right.
Now it's almost like people find satisfaction in proving you wrong, but not even necessarily proving you wrong. They find satisfaction in creating doubt in your own mind.
Yeah, if I can yell loud enough.
Right.
And it's not that they want to have the conversation out of desire to hear.
Right.
It's
I want to prove you wrong.
I want to prove you wrong. It's very antagonistic toward the individual. And the other thing is, it's interesting that you had 4 college kids call you. They are first of all, they are now on the battlefield. They are on the front lines. For instance, I would guess at least one of them was from Clemson.
We're talking Clemson, Anderson University, which is a Christian school, Southern Wesleyan, which is a Christian school, and North Greenville, which is a Christian school.
Yeah, I can tell you, being a Christian school doesn't exempt you from non-believers being there, and even anti-believers being there. And maybe it is the spirit of Antichrist that is growing stronger and stronger, and not necessarily attacking Jesus, but attacking the ideals that his followers adhere to.
When I was a kid, I read, you remember this, I would get the Left Behind series, and I'd get the new book and finish it in a day, which was weird for me.
Yeah.
And I remember reading, and obviously there's scripture references, but the 2 witnesses at the east wall, and when they are killed by Antichrist, there were celebrations, and everyone all over the world watches and celebrates. Watching the celebration of that assassination made me think, okay, maybe that is
that wasn't so far-fetched.
That's not as far-fetched now as it was 20 years ago even.
And I want to come back to the celebrations. I saw a blurb somewhere from George Orwell's 1984 that talked about
Big Brother, and
but he also talked about the day will come that rather than debate ideas, they will kill the opposing view. And you start to think, man, that wasn't so far-fetched either.
So I'll say one more thing. I just happened Tuesday night. So Julie to dance class and was just scrolling, and I came across this guy who was a former military interrogator, and now profiles for different security companies or whatever. And he was talking about casing someone and how you get information when you're doing interrogation. And he said he takes all of his students to a grocery store and says, that girl that's bagging the fruit or restocking the fruit over there, you have 60 seconds to go and find out how much money she makes in a year. And every one of them fails. And then he walks over and says, I can't find the baby carrots. Would you mind helping me find the baby carrots? And she's like, yeah, sure. And walks over, and he goes, hey, I just saw on my LinkedIn that every employee in this grocery store just got a raise and is now making $22 an hour. That's incredible. Congratulations for you. And he said every time that girl, that employee, whoever, will turn around and go, $22? I make $17.50. What do you mean $22? And he said,
from there,
what I've learned is this: when you start asking questions, a little doorway goes up in somebody's brain that says, I need to be protective of the information that I give. And he said, but one of the strongest instincts in the human mind, more than answering a question, our strongest instinct is to correct what we deem as misinformation. He said, so I will purposely, if I want to find out something about an Uber driver, if I want to find out how they like their job, I'll get in the car and tell them I just read a survey on whatever website that Uber's one of the top 5 companies in the United States to work for, and their employees are the happiest. That's really cool. And I won't ask a question, and they'll turn around and tell me everything I want to know. Because when I throw the misinformation out, they'll start whatever. So almost the people who are so combative, it makes you think that instinct to correct misinformation, everybody turns into Oscar from The Office. Actually, and they want to be right and prove them right or whatever.
Well, going to the celebrations of the assassination, which, and going back to the Clemson, they've got some professors who I think there's a
board of trustees
meeting in about
meeting.
35 minutes
Yeah.
where they're going to talk about that. That anybody would celebrate another person being assassinated is just beyond my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
A father, a husband, and a man who, as far as I can tell, simply found another way to preach. I mean, that's kind of everything I find out. He was just going to college campuses proclaiming what we would say is the truth of the gospel. And anybody who would celebrate that, if you don't agree with him, that's fine. That's your God-given right and your constitutional right. But to celebrate it, does that not make you as, I don't want to say as guilty, but it would imply, given the right opportunity, you'd have done the same thing. So there's that you would even celebrate it. I can't fathom that. Two, that you would post your celebration publicly, knowing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a come on, man moment.
Right.
It's almost like you are trying to provoke. And I know you've had to deal with that this morning at outside of church in another area. You've had to deal with that, and I don't know. It's really concerning as to the status of what we talk about. America's a great nation. We got some problems,
and one of these things that kind of comes at the root of this is, I don't necessarily think that, I mean, I'm sure there are, but the celebration and most of it's on social media.
Yeah.
And
which is the easiest place in the world.
Oh, man.
It's easy to type behind that screen and be big.
And I mean,
right?
even we're watching that. It's on Netflix right now. It's a documentary about all the kids in high school. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. It's very explicit, and it has some very strong. They're just telling you what happened, where there's cyberbullying and text messages, and
this one about the girl's mom who was bullying the boyfriend. Yeah,
and her own daughter.
Yeah.
And we're watching it, and immediately one of the moms is like, "So I got on Facebook, and I went, oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah."
I mean, you tell me if you've seen it. I've never seen anybody go, you know what? I felt one way, and then somebody in the comments section changed my mind. I mean,
nobody goes on Facebook to have their mind changed.
No.
It's one of those things. Nothing good can come from that.
No.
Nothing good can come from that. Why? And no, just no. Don't go there.
I understand social media as a place to gather information, to share things that you want people, post a picture of your kids on vacation,
It's good for positive images of your family. Beyond that, it has
hey,
no value.
This was really funny, whatever. But
here's an inspiring moment.
Yeah, this is a verse that spoke to me today, whatever. But to get on there and to become, I think the word is just combative. Like there's just such a combative spirit in the world, in the country,
It really is. You see it everywhere. You see it at the store.
Yeah.
Get in the grocery line, get up to the register. Well, it's not true anymore because now you have to do your own checkout. But back in the day when they had, and something not have a price on it, and everybody behind has to wait while they go get it, and you feel everybody staring at you as if, you dummy, you should have checked that when you got it. There's a highly combative. You see it in driving. You see it everywhere. Other than Jesus, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know. And going back, and I don't want to get everybody all down. We do serve the God who can take what was meant for evil and turn it to good.
Right.
There are the response to the Kirk assassination. I've heard TPC has gotten tens of thousands of applications for new Turning Point posts on campuses. which is great. That's wonderful. You just hope, and you see that we see this all the time. People respond to a crisis in the moment of crisis, and then they drift back to their old ways.
I was going to ask the question, thinking about September 11th, what really changed after September 11th, after kind of the time? What are the takeaways?
Flying.
Security.
That's it.
But the patriotism, all of the things that we had, that was, you had people signing up, going, I'm going overseas to fight. Yeah. Well, now go into a high school and say, we want to sign you guys up.
Let me tell you a theory of mine, and we'll get out of here because we're already at 30 minutes. And I can only offer this because of a little bit more age that I have on you guys. When I was growing up, and even in my teenage years, and even in my early 20s, we did not have news media 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We were not constantly hit with, this is what's going on in the world.
Right.
And to that, I would say everything wasn't a soundbite, and everything wasn't a video clip. And basically twice a day, you kind of got your news. The 6 o'clock news with Dave Partridge.
And the 11 o'clock.
The 11 o'clock news. That's where you got your news. And it didn't constantly berate your mind 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And you watched things like Johnny Carson and football games to escape some of that. But now everything.
It's all a part of it.
Yeah.
And you only had 30 minutes at 6 o'clock. So you got little snippets. And you just weren't. And I think we live in a world now, and there's no going back.
No.
But the constant news cycle, which is created, if you're a politician, you need to be in the constant news cycle.
And you have to be on 24/7.
And to be on, you have to be controversial. And so you say things and you stir up controversy.
To be noticed.
Never thinking that there are people out there who are taking what you are saying as you're just saying it to be on TV. They're taking it as gospel. You're calling somebody a fascist.
Yeah.
And they're like, this man's a fascist. Somebody needs to kill him.
Right.
This is where we are. We do serve a God who can take what was evil and turn it to good. And I think to the church, you was talking about put on Facebook something that spoke to me. I came across the passage in Corinthians where Paul said, "For we are the fragrance of Christ." And I realized that even in the face of this, where there's a great temptation to get up and yell and scream at people you deem to be on the other side, we are the fragrance of Christ.
Yeah.
And so we have to keep the bar high. We have to keep the bar high. We can't go down to the level, the people who are posting the horrible things. Okay, they'll run it. Let it be dealt with the way it should be dealt with. We have to keep the bar high because we're still the body of Christ.
So God in the midst of chaos.
Yeah.
So last Wednesday night, I had a conversation with a parent who was just asking me, could you pray for our family?
Yeah.
We're having car trouble. We got carbon monoxide leaking in the vehicle.
Oh my goodness.
We don't, it's the Dave Ramsey thought.
Yeah.
We don't really do car loans. So we've got to figure this out, not in a place where we can go and just drop it right now.
Yeah.
So, totally will you just help pray? Thursday, we get a text. This family's been in a car accident. Just nobody's hurt. Everything's fine. Car's totaled. And I thought, okay. Okay. Now, I'm not insinuating that.
No, I'm sitting here thinking, don't pray for me, okay?
I'm not insinuating that God caused the car accident, but I'm saying that in the car accident, now they're going to get an insurance payout because it wasn't their fault. and they're going to be able to go and purchase a new vehicle,
A replacement vehicle that doesn't
leak carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
God works in the bad stuff too.
Yeah.
In the inconvenient thing.
Well, they call them God winks. Every now and then you have those God wink moments.
Yep.
And so that's what we live for. Well, certainly, and I don't say this the way you'll hear it said, but certainly prayers for the Kirk family and the family of the little girl in Charlotte and the family of the high school. And enough's enough, we have to do our part and trust the Lord. He will do his. So I think today, going off and on, there's an old song called Mercy, Mercy Me, Things Ain't What They Used to Be. And there's a guy named Teddy Swim. Somebody sent that to me. He covered that this weekend in response to all these things. So Daniel will play that as we go off and on, and we'll get back together soon. But hold your head up. Be nice to somebody. You never know what a difference that may make. And we'll get back together next week.
I got to post on Facebook real quick how nasty muscadines are, and anybody who likes it.
All right.
See you next time.
Oh, mercy, mercy me. Yeah. All things ain't what they used to be. Oh,